Time to take a breath and hold, live a government action. Let's raise our voice, speak together, reaction. Mother Earth can't take our words, so we must be silent no more. Silent no more, silent no more. Silent, no, idle no more. Solidarity, yeah, unity, yeah, culture, yeah, community, yeah, solidarity, yeah, unity, yeah, culture, yeah, community, yeah, solidarity, yeah, unity, yeah, culture, yeah, community. Yet here we remain with our revolution in one hand and our eagle feathers in the other, and that is what changing the world looks like. To stand, maybe with our voice shaking, maybe weighed down by the history of silence, erasure, and oppression, but at its core, compelled by our unwavering truth that our promise to preserve this love letter to the future generations, to preserve this earth and be proud to be Indigenous while doing it, will not be unfulfilled. To be proud to be of this community, proud to be changing the world. That is a promise that we will not let go unfulfilled. Change is the fuel that ignites the momentum of our nations to match the speed of our times, and our times call to be fueled by new innovation and change, not fossil fuels and an old unjust paradigm. We need your crazy ideas to match our crazy times. We stand on the shoulders of invisible, monumental giants, perseverant movers and shakers that came before us, that changed our story from victim to resilience, that engendered our revolutions. And today is not a rehearsal for tomorrow. So we stand on the precipice of cultural deterioration, climate change, and these are the challenges that will typify our generational capabilities, combating these issues as the people and the planet of today. And that being said, I would like to say that I am very excited about the future. So bring your crazy plans, unreasonable, ambitious ideas, and those naive notions about changing the world with you. Bring the old ways, bring the new ways, bring your justice, bring your music, and together, let's teach the history books of tomorrow a lesson in doing what is fundamentally right. We are the momentum, we are the unstoppable. Together, we make change. We have a You have a voice, be heard. We have a responsibility to the future we will leave behind, so together, let's design a better world.
Just this week, TransCanada announced that they want to withdraw their application for the Keystone XL pipeline because they were trying to break up with the Obama administration before the Obama administration broke up with them. That's the power of collective action and organizing. Since we launched the Leap Manifesto, we've just been overwhelmed by the response, by the breadth and depth of those who want to come together around this expansive and transformative vision. And it really was a collective process drafting this manifesto. It was hard. 60 people locked themselves in a room together for 2 days, leaders from across the country, organizers from across the country, and we came up with this text, and then it became a kind of a beacon, and people added their names. People like Gujau, former spokesperson for the Haida Nation, and Hassan Youssef, head of the CLC, added their names to it. Hundreds of organizations have signed. One of the initial drafting organizations was No One Is Illegal here in the Coast Salish territories. Black Lives Matter, Toronto added their names. Oxfam added their names. This is not the usual suspect coalitions. All have come forward to say we believe that Canada can take bold action to fight against climate change. We believe we can do it in a way that changes this country for the better by delivering meaningful fiscal justice to First Nations, and that begins with fully implementing the United Nations Declarations on the Rights of Indigenous People. We can do it by creating more and better jobs for those who need it most, by expanding and restoring our social safety net, and by welcoming far more migrants and refugees to these privileged shores, recognizing that climate change is a major driver of migration. So are illegal wars looking for fossil fuels. So are bad trade deals that our governments have been pushing. That is climate justice. That's the core of the message of the Leap Manifesto. We did launch it in the middle of an election campaign, and we kept getting this question from journalists. Why did you launch it during an election campaign? Because that's when Canadians talk about politics. And we had a problem, which was none of the major national parties that had a chance of winning this election, none of them were talking about climate change nearly as much as they should have. And they were talking about climate justice even less. And as Anjali has said, we don't have any time to waste. We can't just leave this to the politicians. If they're not leading, we're going to lead. We are going to lead from outside. We're going to lead from below. We also noticed that in this election there was something that my partner Ravi Lewis calls an inspiration gap. That a lot of people were voting against something, voting for what they didn't want. But a lot of people didn't feel like they could actually vote for what they did want. There's a slogan in Argentina. They say, "Our dreams don't fit on your ballots." So we voted, we got out the Tories, and that's a great start. But now the work begins. Now the work begins, because we need a vision for our country that's more inspiring than just not Stephen Harper's Canada. So this is about laying out a plan and saying what this would mean. It means we don't just want to switch from big corporate dirty energy to big corporate green energy. We want energy democracy. We want to own and control our own renewable energy systems. And more than that, the people who have gotten the worst deal under the extractive model need to be first in line. First Nations need to be first to own and control their renewable energy projects, getting the skills and the jobs in their communities. So do other communities with high asthma rates that have been dealing with the worst impacts of our toxic economy. It means that we don't just want green jobs, we want green jobs that are unionized and pay a living wage. We also know that we can pay for all this. We live in a time of unprecedented private wealth. We need to go after that money on the basis of climate justice. You know what that means? That means the polluters pay. That means we raise royalties on fossil fuel companies. It means we impose a bold and progressive carbon tax while the price of oil is low. It means we cut military spending. It means we have a financial transaction tax. Soon enough, we'll be rolling in money. We can pay for it. I want to thank the Canadian Centre for Policy Alternatives. They costed it out, and they put out a document about how Canada can afford to leap. So look it up at leapmanifesto.org. The response to the Leap has surpassed all our expectations. Last night, we surpassed 30,000 signatures. It's been translated into 9 languages, including Arabic, Cree, Spanish, and Punjabi. There have been local gatherings talking about how to put these principles into action in Calgary, Alberta, of all places. I think this widespread support and this diverse support shows that a great many of us understand that this is a unique moment in our history, one in which we must decisively choose a path. It's not about just doing it all, saying yes to pipelines and yes to renewable energy. No, that's not going to get us where we need to go. But rather than approaching this decisive choice with fear, we are embracing it with hope and excitement, because we are ready to leap and we are ready to lead, and we know that powerful movements can win big victories. In fact, it's the only thing that ever has. Now, we're not here to attack the new government before they've done anything. But we know because we pay attention and we study history, and a few of us have been around the block a few times, we know that this new government is being bombarded by pressure from above. Pressure from the pipeline companies, which they're way too close to. Pressure from Bay Street, pressure from the oil patch. And these people want them to do nothing more than put a kinder, gentler face on Harper's disastrous policies. So we're here because we know that in the face of that kind of pressure, another kind of pressure is needed. This is the last time to demobilize. This is the last time to relax. Now is when we can actually have some serious impact. What this government needs is powerful and relentless pressure from below. It is the best gift that any new government can receive, because now is the time for boldness. Now is the time to leap. Thank you.
There won't be tomorrow if we don't change today. We're generation now, we're children